The Amazing World of Gumball is wild, weird, and totally chaotic, but behind the scenes, some characters vanished into thin air. We're talking about characters who got kicked to the curb, sometimes with no explanation at all. Sit back and let's check them out. Number 8. Rachel Wilson, Tobias' teen sister. Rachel Wilson is Tobias' older sister, and she first appeared in Season 1 of The Party, where she hosted a big teenage gathering. She was quite notable to have stirred up drama, even kissed our own special Darwin. Do you remember that scene of Rachel inviting Darwin and Gumball to a wild house party in that episode of The Party Season 1? Rachel had that cool, older teen vibe, way mature than Gumball could handle. She brought a twist to the Amazing World of Gumball, but unfortunately, the showrunners made a statement that broke the heart of many lovers of Rachel's character, when they said she didn't fit into the tone and future plotlines of the show. She was strategically removed from the show, and her final mention was in Darwin's yearbook, where she's said to have left for college. That's a polite write-off, right? But here's the real scoop. The creators said she just didn't fit in with the evolving tone of the show. Gumball leaned more into surreal comedy, and Rachel's grounded teen drama vibe didn't match that energy. So instead of giving her a proper send-off, she was quietly deleted from the story. A whole character erased just like that. Poor Darwin never even got closure. That's unfair. Number 7. Tina Rex's dad. Unlike other discontinued characters that were able to get enough screen time, Tina Rex's dad didn't get screen time but was briefly referenced in an early episode, with no follow-up. He played the role of an off-screen terrifying father. His character was a threat that loomed but never materialized. He was possibly dropped due to violence themes. The giant dinosaur bully of Elmore Junior High, loud, angry, surprisingly complex. But for one brief moment in the series, we saw a glimpse of her dad, a massive, even scarier T-Rex in a necktie. He appeared for literally a few seconds, and then never again. No scenes, no backstory, no resolution, just vanished. So, what happened? Well, fan theory suggests Tina's dad was originally going to be a part of a deeper character arc, maybe to explain Tina's temper or her tough girl persona. But as the show evolved, the writers leaned more into absurdity than family dynamics. That subplot? Scrapped? Gone. Some believe he was too familiar to Mr. Rex from the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, and the creators didn't want to tread familiar ground. Whatever the reason, his absence is loud. I mean, come on, a full-grown T-Rex in a tie deserves at least one epic scene, right? Justice for Papa Rex! Number 6. Molly Collins, the Forgotten Dinosaur. Molly Collins is a shy sauropod cheerleader voiced by Jessica McDonald in The Void. Her classmates deemed her boring and erased her existence. This is another character that was cut short during her prime. Molly Collins appeared in both background and minor speaking roles in Season 1 of The Pressure as a sweet, quiet dinosaur in the schoolyard and cheer squad. But in Season 2, she vanished without explanation. It turns out in The Void, Elmore's world deems her too boring to exist. Oh no. Think of her as a cartoon casualty of narrative culling. Thankfully, Gumball, Darwin, and Mr. Small took it upon themselves to rescue her. Her friends trusted Mr. Small as the genius who could rescue her. He makes it possible with his 6 nipple eyes that can see the future, the past, and the present. They found their way to a locker hall when they got a hint from a picture which shows a possible way on how to get their friend back. This picture takes them on an adventure to another universe they never saw coming, but they were able to find Molly. She was canonically erased by the show's own meta-logic, making her one of the only cartoon characters in TV history to be written out by a literal reality cleaner. Fans were understandably upset. I mean, think about it. How would you feel if someone decided you were too boring to exist? It's one of the saddest removals in the entire show and kind of a brutal meta-commentary on how side characters get treated in cartoons. Molly deserved better. period. Number 5. Angel Girl, or Female Angel, the character that never made it. Alright, this one's a little different. The Angel Girl was a scrapped character. She never actually made it onto the screen, but concept art of her exists. She was designed to be a glowing, angelic student in Elmore Junior High, possibly representing innocence or morality. So why didn't she ever appear? According to the show's early development notes, the character's tone didn't align with Gumball's brand of chaotic, irreverent humor. The creators felt she was too one-dimensional, too perfect for a school full of mutants, monsters, and literal bananas. Her design was shelved quietly. But what's interesting is that she's still remembered by some hardcore fans, especially those who follow concept leaks and deleted scenes. She could have been something special, a celestial counterbalance to Gumball's madness, but instead, she became another what if, floating in the fandom void. Another one lost to the culling room floor. Heaven's gain, Elmore's loss. Number 4. Rob, the masked version, from villain to void. Now you probably know Rob as Gumball's main antagonist by the end of the series, but what you might not know is that Rob originally appeared as a completely different character, one who was literally erased by the void. In Season 2, Rob was just a background character with a weird cone mask over his head. He wasn't evil, he wasn't even important, just there. But then, in the void, he becomes self-aware, like Matrix-level self-awareness. He realizes he's a background character getting edited out of existence, so when he escapes the void, he comes back completely transformed. Angry, broken, and vengeful. That masked version of Rob? Never seen again. Gone. Wiped clean. And his place was a full-on villain trying to break reality itself. It's fascinating because it shows how the creators used Rob to literally represent discarded ideas and cut characters. He is the ghost of cancelled concepts, walking among the main cast. Honestly, that's kinda genius. Number 3. William, Miss Simeon's The Psychic Eyeball. Okay, so this one is weird, even for Gumball. William is that floating eyeball in a black cloak who mostly just hovers silently in the background. You probably saw him in early seasons and thought, okay, that's creepy but cool. But then, he stopped showing up entirely. Originally, William was meant to be a background character who symbolized paranoia and surveillance. He even had a few moments where he'd make creepy comments or float around like some mysterious observer. A floating Illuminati eyeball in a school full of food, animals, and abstract art? Yeah, that checks out. But as the show progressed, the creators phased him out. Why? Apparently, standalone creepiness didn't deserve any bigger purpose in a show that increasingly focused on story arcs and emotional growth. Also, some fans found William too unsettling for a kid's comedy. So our favorite peeping eyeball was benched and eventually removed. R.I.P. to the most misunderstood ball of optic nerves in Elmore history. Number 2. Banana Barbara's Future, Visions, Censored Prophecies. Banana Barbara, aka Banana Joe's mom, is an artist, but not just any artist. She literally paints the future. In several episodes, she has a full-on prophetic powers. Her drawings show events before they happened. It's played off as a joke, at first, but then it gets kind of scary. In the future, she warns Gumball and Darwin that if they keep tampering with fate, reality itself could fall apart. At first, they ignore her warnings because, let's face it, she's a banana with a paintbrush, but then her creepy visions start coming true. And just when it felt like she was about to become a major force in the show, she was sidelined. Her powers were never fully explained again. No origin story, no final prophecy. Just the occasional background gag or silent painting. Some fans speculate the writers intentionally toned her down because her arc started to get too dark, especially for a kid show. Visions of the apocalypse, time loops, and existential doom? Yeah, that's a little heavy to be aired on the television. Still, it's a bummer. Banana Barbara could have been the Doctor Strange of Gumball's multiverse. Instead, she became another almost character, one the show never truly explored. Number 1. Idaho's family, the potato plot that disappeared. Rounding out our list is Idaho, the talking potato with old-fashioned values. You probably remember Idaho. He was super into wholesome living, constantly clashing with Gumball's chaotic lifestyle. But here's the thing. Idaho is supposed to have a whole family of potatoes. Early seasons teased them. There were mentions of Idaho's cousins who lived off the grid, or that his family raised him on a dirt farm with no electronics. It was hilarious and full of potential. Imagine a bunch of old-timey potatoes preaching moral values in a digital world. But outside of one or two throwaway lines, we never met them. At one point, there were even rumors of a lost episode called The Farm, where Gumball and Darwin visit Idaho's home and discover a creepy cult-like potato society. But the episode never aired, or maybe it never existed at all. The writers never officially explained the disappearance, but fans believe the plot was scrapped for being too strange or maybe too far removed from the Elmore setting. Either way, Idaho's family became a mystery that quietly vanished into the Gumball lore vault. Here are some bonus additions to the characters counted that got discontinued. Miss Simeon's boyfriend. A love story that died quietly. Let's talk about one of the weirdest romantic pairings in cartoon history. Miss Simeon and her mystery boyfriend. If you blinked, you probably missed it. In a few episodes, Miss Simeon casually mentions having a boyfriend, and then, BAM! He appears! A hulking, gorilla-like guy who's just as cranky and intimidating as she is. They seem like the perfect match. Kind of like Bonnie and Clyde, but with more wrinkles and yelling. But here's the catch. He shows up once or twice and then completely disappears. There's no breakup episode, no tragic backstory, no explanation, he's just gone. It's almost like the writer said, okay, this is too much. Like if Miss Simeon alone already terrifies her students, imagine having two of her. Maybe Elmore couldn't handle that level of chaos. Or maybe, just maybe, the character didn't resonate enough with fans to warrant screen time. Gumball has always been about high energy absurdity, and their relationship was, well, kinda awkward and slow-paced. Still, you can't deny it would have been hilarious to see them on a double date with Mr. Small and Banana Barbara. Missed opportunity? We think so. Now here's a deep cut for true Gumball fans. Harry the hamster. He only shows up in The Pet, an early episode where Gumball and Darwin get a class pet. Cute, right? Nope. It quickly spirals into chaos. Harry turns out to be this comically evil, manipulative little furball. He bites people, sabotages everything, and basically tries to take over the Watterson house like a rodent dictator. It's hilarious, but also kind of disturbing. After that episode, he never returns. Not even as a background character. Gone. Yeeted out of Elmore like he never existed. Why? Well, some fans think the creators wanted to keep the show light and goofy, and Harry was just a bit too dark. His scenes felt like something out of a Tom and Jerry mixed with The Purge. Funny, but also kind of unhinged. Others believe the plot just didn't have legs, or maybe paws, to grow into a recurring joke. He served this purpose, give us one wild episode and scurried off into cartoon exile. Still, admit it, part of you would have loved a return of Harry the Hamster episode. Just pure chaos. So what do all these forgotten characters tell us? Gumball was never afraid to take risks, sometimes wild, sometimes weird, sometimes downright existential. And that meant characters came and went, stories changed, and the tone evolved fast. Some, like Rob, were reinvented. Others, like Molly and Rachel, just didn't fit anymore. But that's the magic of Gumball. It was a creative playground where even the forgotten still left a mark. So here's to the erased, the dropped, and the deleted. The unsung citizens of Elmore. And don't forget, we're almost at 100k subscribers, and with your help, we can hit that milestone together. So if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a deep dive into the wild world of Gumball. Plus, once we hit 100k, I'll be ranking every episode of the show, including the mysterious Season 7. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time with even more Gumball Chaos.